Hey guys, this is Tom with The Verge and we're looking at the Johnson Controls glass thermostat. So this is actually the first Cortana powered thermostat. As you can see, it's got a translucent display, so you can see straight through it. And that's actually a 5.9-inch Samsung manufactured OLED panel. So it's kind of unusual. We haven't seen any sort of thermostat that looks like this. And to be honest, we don't really see many translucent displays anyway. So it's made by Johnson Controls. Now these guys have been manufacturing thermostats ever since the very original 135 years ago. So you could say they probably know what they're doing. Now they've partnered with Microsoft. It's running on Windows 10 IoT core. That probably doesn't mean a lot to you, but what it does mean is essentially it's running on a Qualcomm chip. So it's a really like an Internet of Things device, but it's going to be a thermostat that's going to sit on your wall, control your heating, your cooling and everything else. So we've seen a bunch of different smart thermostats. One from Nest, that's obviously the big player in the market. Ecobee's got one with Alexa integration. And the difference with Johnson Controls, they're kind of really digging into monitoring your house in a way that perhaps the other thermostats aren't. So there's 3 sensors inside here. There's carbon dioxide sensor, and there's other sensors that are going to monitor like your air quality. So they're going to work out what the air quality is inside and out. So that will help with like when your cooling systems are coming on, or even your heating systems. There's even stuff like emergency stuff for when you're away. So if you're in a really cold city, like New York City has been recently, then if you're away, this thermostat will like spin up and keep your components like all safe and sound. So let's just dig into exactly what you can do with this thermostat. Obviously you can control it with your fingers and with touch, as you'd expect, and you get all the sort of information you would expect from like an interface on a thermostat. What's really different is obviously the Cortana integration. Hey Cortana, what's the weather like in London?
In London, it's mostly cloudy and 41, with cloudy skies and a high.
Okay, so at the moment the Cortana integration is fairly basic. Johnson Controls tells me that in the future there's going to be a lot of visual cues, the sort of stuff you'd expect from Cortana on the PC. But at the moment it's only voice, and it's going to respond with voice. In terms of the user interface, you've obviously got a lot of the energy saving settings that you'd expect. You can dig in, work out what energy you saved. You can even set smart controls on stuff like your heating, so you can edit a schedule, similar to the sort of stuff you would see on most smart thermostats. You can copy those across to other days pretty easily. There's also a mobile app. Now that will be the exact same sort of user interface as what we're seeing here, so you can set all those sort of things from afar as well if you don't want to constantly play with the screen. But yeah, like, as you can see, it's a pretty, I'd say, we've said before, it's a pretty beautiful device, and I think that plays through. It's pretty unique with a translucent display as well. So Johnson Controls is actually pitching this in the consumer space, so it's going to be sold through the Microsoft store, through their own retail outlets. And you're going to be able to get this installed by a technician, or you can actually do it yourself, and there's going to be like visual cues on the screen that will tell you which wires you've connected and which you haven't. So it's going to be available for pre-order in March, and it's going to run for around about $319. And for that, you're going to obviously get all the Cortana integration, the translucent display, and just a kind of really unique thermostat that we haven't really seen elsewhere. Okay, so that was a real quick look at the Johnson Controls glass thermostat, which is obviously Cortana powered. And for more devices at CES this week, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll see a lot more just like this. See the Cortana integration. So, hey Cortana. Hey Cortana. Hey Cortana.